Hello YouTube, this is a very quick video. I promise this is a very quick video. Nothing specific DIY, but I've got a few things to tell you about which I think you'll find quite interesting. So what I was going to do, before I tell you about that, I was just going to show you around the place where I do all the sewing. So you can have a rummage around, you can have a look what kind of stuff I've got, and this is the kind of place you end up when you do a lot of DIY gear for backpacking, things like that. So I'll just sort of show you around. So this is the sewing room. This is my wife's area. This is where all the clothes get made, all the dresses and gowns and stuff like that. And then this is all the DIY gear. So we've got the machines. These are 50 years old. They're older than me, and still going perfectly like they were first made. And there's another one down there. That's my backup one in case this one fails, but it's never failed, so I don't use the backup one very much. This is all my high tenacity threads. This is all the Terra 60 threads and things like that for heavy duty stuff. You end up with a collection of bits for your sewing machine, all different feet and guides and things like that. So you end up with a whole range of those. Also, by the machine, you normally have all the useful stuff. So you've got scissors, you've got an owl for am-steel work, some sort of poking stick for turning corners out, lighters for melting ends of stuff, stop them fraying, things like that. What else do we have? This is all my cord and stuff. So you have loads of cord, all different types of cord, from Dyneema to nylon to polyester. These are weights I use for holding fabric down. These are all my bottles for hiking and stuff. Here's quite interesting. This is a ceramic knife I use for cutting am-steel. Ceramic knives are brilliant for am-steel. It's just a kitchen knife, ceramic kitchen knife, but yeah, very handy. That lives up there out of the way of young fingers. It's all bits and pieces. What we've got here, these are like the best little micro clips, toggles and things. Stainless steel springs, extra strong. More bits of cord, little toggles. Marine goop, if you've ever seen that, it's the best stuff for sealing tents and ridgelines. The main reason I use it is the urethane glue, and it's also got a UV protection, so it doesn't go off like normal goop or other seal net and stuff like that. That's really good for UV. And then this is all the new stuff I've got to use. So lash it, polyester cord, am-steel for doing whoopee slings. What's in there? This is interesting. This is kind of an am-steel from China. Just trying it out. It's actually pretty good. It's a bit flat, but it's very strong, and it's super cheap. So that's quite interesting. Loads and loads of webbing, making your tree huggers and trying out all different types of webbing. That's a polyester one, nice and thin. I've got all the load ratings on there so I can work it out. It's another different polyester one, higher rating. Nice and thin, so trying all that out. These are quite good. I'll show you these. These are from a company called Picture Pack Workshop, and they're a new thing I'm trying out. It's like a cord lock on the end of a tarp guy line, but it's got like a sliding thing in there, so it grips very small lines, like 1mm lines and things. And you put a cord through there, so they're easy to attach. So yeah, trying those out at the moment. They're quite good, nice and light. More different types of am-steel, some soft shackles. All different bits and pieces in there. That's just tools, pots for alcohol burners, things like that. And then in here we've got all the patterns. So everything I ever made that I made a pattern for is in here. So from inner nests to bags to hammock triangles, everything is in here. So everything I've ever made, pretty much in here. That was newspaper templates I used to make the trail star nest out of. Then up here we've got kind of reflectics, insulation. This is a pound of down waiting to go into another quilt sometime. All my tapes and stuff for making pop cozies. This is one of my favourite boxes. So this is all of my grow grain ribbon. Greens and blacks generally what I go for. Dark greens. This is a luminous one I'm just trying out. It's quite nice actually. And you've got all your clips, metal clips, plastic clips, more cord, more webbing, and then in here some more grow grain ribbon. In here got all your toggles. Everything's in little bags. So I know I've got these are cam snaps. So those in here, toggles. Little mitten hooks in there. Put that back. So the more DIY you do, the more stuff you collect from projects, and eventually you have enough to just go around and make anything you want. You've got pretty much everything you need. That, I'm going to do a little video on that. It's a coffee thing. You like that? This is some different stuff. This is really heavy. This is fabric, but it's waxed cotton. So you can make your traditional bushcrafting stuff with that. They've got like an earthy tone as well. Really nice stuff that is. And then in here, this should be a lightweight box. Yeah, this is pretty light. Some more waxed cotton. And then these are super light. This is all my Cuban fibre. I've got loads of Cuban fibre. This is the thick sort of ground sheet stuff. And then what have we got in here? This is the thin, fairly thin stuff. Making sacks. This is a prototype bag I was playing with. Totally watertight, airtight. It's quite nice. Works quite well. That's all the Cuban fibre. Don't know what's in this one. Just a bit of bits and pieces. Okay, and then obviously you end up with a bit of fabric. So in here I've got waterproof fabric, lining fabric, fleece. I don't use a lot of fleece, but I've got some fleece in there. Old Cuban fibre. That's what happens when it gets old. It kind of delaminates a bit. What else have we got? Projects I'm working on. So this is all mozzie netting, ultralight nano Nosey, loads and loads of that. Got your X-Pack stuff. What else have we got? That's a prototype hammock. Zips. Big bag of zips. Every zip you want. Loads and loads of them. So, another stuff for a zip. We've got in here camo, ripstop nylon, ultralight polyester. We got your thick kind of pack material, reinforcing. more ripstop. In here is kind of Pertex and ultra lightweight stuff. Pull that back. What have we got down here? It's a little tarp, tiny little tarp. In here we got more mesh. That's organza in there, I think. Here we have insulation, more insulation, tool. This is for my quilts. This is a taffeta, ultra lightweight taffetas, things like that. And then in here we've got ripstop nylon, this is parachute material, and polyester, cotton camo, things like that. I'm missing something. What have we got up here? Should be here somewhere. In there somewhere I've got a big heavy bag of merino wool, so I can make loads of merino wool stuff as well. And then up here I've got some of the rolled stuff which I've got a lot of. Ultra lightweight fabrics, heavyweight fabrics like Cordura, pack material, ultra lightweight ripstop, windproof, downproof, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much it, I think. So there you go, whistle stop tour around the workshop, so you can see all the stuff, how you kind of end up when you make a lot of DIY stuff. Now, on to something else that I wanted to share with you. I've started doing something new. So I've started up a podcast series. The idea behind it is to have some content that's downloadable, you can stick on your phone, and when you're out hiking you can listen to it. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need signal, you can just listen to it from your phone. So I put up an intro podcast, and I put up a first full podcast. And there's loads of great content in there. There's show notes with links to useful references, there's DIY gear, there's company spotlights, so you can see some companies that you probably wouldn't normally use or recognise. There's loads of stuff in there. So I've done one first full episode, and I've got another one being done at the moment, and I'll do that at the end of the week. I'm trying to get one out a week, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to commit to that. But that's the plan at the moment, and then we'll see how that progresses. I'll do 10 for the first series, and then see if that's something interesting people want to listen to. I've got it on SoundCloud at the moment. It will be on iTunes eventually when it's gone through the Apple process. But yeah, so if you want to check it out, I'll put the links below. Go and have a look, have a listen, download it, and see if it's the kind of podcast that you're after. If you're into ultra lightweight backpacking, if you're into DIY gear and hiking in general, then you'll probably find something in there that will interest you. Okay, well thanks for that. It's very quick, as I promised, which is unusual for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye.